In this video, I want to show you how to prepare soy sauce chicken, which is a very popular Chinese cuisine, and normally we have it in a restaurant or at a chicken rice store. But have you ever think of making it at home? So in these videos, I want to show you how to prepare it at home in the simplest way so that you can enjoy it at home with less effort. What I have today is the chicken thighs, and I have 4 chicken thighs. Here's about 1 kg. In the restaurant, normally they will use the whole chicken, but in this recipe, since it is for home cook, we're going to do it at home. For simplicity, I'll just use the chicken thigh instead. The chicken will then be braised with a few ingredients. Basically, this is soy sauce, which is the most important one because this is soy sauce chicken. And we need to use 2 different types of soy sauce, the light soy sauce and also the dark soy sauce. Besides that, I also include sesame oil and some Chinese wine, which is optional. If you do not take wine, you can omit it. And besides that, I also have some sugar. This is rock sugar, which is usually used by the Chinese to braise any meat, including chicken or beef. But if you don't have rock sugar, you can use the normal white sugar or brown sugar, which will not make any significant difference. And lastly, we need some spices. Now these are the spices that we need for the chicken. First is cinnamon, bay leaves, and then I have star anise and also cloves. Essentially, these are the ingredients you need for the chicken. But as I said, if you have time, you can elevate the flavor by adding 3 more ingredients. That is spring onion, ginger, and garlic. So I have put some oil into the pan, and now I'm going to saute all these items. So after 1 to 2 minutes over low to medium heat, it will become very aromatic. Now I'll remove all this and put into my slow cooker. By using a slow cooker or multi-cooker is the fastest way and the easiest way to make soy sauce chicken. But if you do not have a multi-cooker, it is okay. You can also use a stovetop pot to do that. I put the chicken into the pot. Now let's say if you want to follow the simple basic formula, you don't need to put the spring onion, garlic and ginger. And the aromatic is basically something that is optional. So I have all the chicken, put it into the pot, and then the spices, the cinnamon, bay leaves, star anise and the cloves. I'm going to put everything in, and the sugar, and I'm using the rock sugar. As I said, you can use the normal white sugar if you don't have it. Half a cup of good quality light soy sauce, about 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, a tablespoon of sesame oil, and some Chinese wine, Shaoxing wine. If you do not take wine, you can omit it. Then add some water to braise the chicken. Then give it a stir so that everything is homogeneous. And also make sure the chicken is at least nearly fully, if not fully, nearly at least submerged into the water. When it turns soft, during braising, you will find that the chicken will release some water and it becomes softer, and the whole piece of chicken will submerge fully into water afterwards. So that's all I need to do now. Since I'm using a multi-cooker, I will set it to braise it for a few hours. And in between, I will give it a stir and also add in 2 more ingredients to make it even more complete. That is hard-boiled egg and tofu. Now, as I said, these 2 items are optional, so you can make it very simple by omitting it. But as I said, if you have time, if you want it to be more wholesome, you can add on the hard-boiled egg and also tofu and braise together with the chicken. The first one is tofu. Always choose the firm tofu so that it will not break. You can cut it into thinner slices, just like that. I have peeled off the shell of the hard-boiled egg, and if you want to know in a little more details how to prepare it, I have a separate videos and I will leave the link in the description below the video. Since these two items, tofu and egg, is already cooked, I can add it together with the chicken, or I can add it halfway during braising. It doesn't really make much difference. And in this case, since I have not get the tofu and also the egg ready, when I start to braise the chicken, I will add it later. If you don't have the multi-cooker at home, can you make it just as what I've done just now? You just need to make a slight adjustment by putting it into the pot and put it onto the stove. Now the difference is if you put it onto the stove, potentially it will dry out much quicker. So you have to keep your eye, and if the water level is down, you have to add some boiling water to keep the level of the water up. And also, if you put it on the stove, try to use the lowest heat as possible. So that is the only difference. It's just that if you have the multi-cooker, you don't really have to bother about it. Alright, I have already braised the chicken for about more than 1 hour. So now let's turn the chicken over for even cooking. And at the same time add the tofu and also the egg into it. Also add a little bit of salt. And then continue braising the chicken for another 1.5 hours. Okay, let's come back later. Okay, it's finished braising. Now let's open it and see how it's like. Yes! Now let's look at it. It is still lots of liquid, but I have to, otherwise it will not be able to submerge all inside the liquid. So the next step is I have to remove all of these ingredients and concentrate the sauce. And before reducing the amount of the liquid, if you want to make sure that the liquid is cleaner, you can remove all the spices and the aromatics. Now I have two choices. Either I'm going to use the saute mode of the multi-cooker to concentrate it over here, or transfer it to a pot and do it on the stove top. I will use the stove top because it is faster. I've concentrated the liquid to about half of the original volume. Let's taste it. Very, very nice. And I'm not going to boil it further because otherwise it will be too salty. Pour the concentrated gravy onto the chicken. And garnish with some spring onion to serve. Okay, that's how to prepare the soy sauce chicken, and I hope you will love this recipe. It's a straightforward method, simplified, especially for home cooks by using a multi-cooker. And if you want to try this recipe, I've included in the description below the video and also at the end of this video for your reference. Thanks for watching. Please enjoyed it, give it a try, and let me know the results in the comments. And I'll see you again in some other similar video soon. Bye for now.